I had joint pain. The biggest thing I had was chest pressure. And with the chest pressure, I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I had shortness of breath, fatigue, just pure exhaustion, as though I had done my job and maybe even ran a couple of miles before I even got home. I couldn't function. And nobody else around me could understand, when you look fine, why aren't you functioning? So I went through a lot of that alone. Not really alone. I did for a long time, but then when I got involved into the program, there were so many other women that understood it. And I felt like I was part of something, part of a solution. I was going to find the solution to it, and I did. I'm so grateful for Dr. Maggie and just everyone at Transform. They're phenomenal. Hi, my name's Kelly. I'm from Indiana. I've been working at the Postal Service for 30 years. And I'm married. I have 2 not children, but adults now. I have 3 grandsons, and that keep me very busy.
It sounds like it. And you were mentioning to me earlier that you live on a farm and you love to do things out on the farm.
I do. We don't farm as much, but we do have a pond and property and rental property and a swimming pool and a hot tub. So we have a lot of family over here for reunions and grill outs and just great company.
And prior to some of your health struggles, I know you had a very active lifestyle and there was lots of things that you loved to do.
Yes.
Unfortunately, all of that kind of came to a halt over 3 years ago now when you came down with the virus and then never fully recovered and was a long hauler, as we call it. I want you to take me through that and tell me what happened in that journey and what did you experience?
Sure. I got an infection, became a long hauler, 3 years now. Actually, several years before that as well, my parents were very ill. So I was not only working a lot of hours at the post office, but I was working there. And then I was caring for my parents, my father with dementia, and my mother who was diagnosed with cancer. And then I got the infection, and it just made me to where I barely could do my job. I was doing my job hour by hour, trying to get through the day and then get home and lay on the couch.
When you could barely do your job, just so I can understand clearly, it was exhaustion, it was mental fatigue. Tell me what was going on specifically.
Yes, I had joint pain. The biggest thing I had was chest pressure. And with the chest pressure, I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I had shortness of breath, fatigue, just pure exhaustion, as though I had done my job and maybe even ran a couple of miles before I even got home. I couldn't function. And nobody else around me could understand, when you look fine, why aren't you functioning?
Yeah, because your acute illness had passed, but yet you were dealing with all of these debilitating symptoms. It sounds like you were telling me the chest pressure felt so bad. It was like one of your grandchildren was laying on your chest.
Yes. I couldn't even let my husband hug me. Like, he wanted to put his arms around me and hug me. And I had to tell him to back off. I mean, when you need the support from your husband and your family, but you don't want him to touch you. The squeezing, the chest pressure was so much. My anxiety was so high. Then it led into depression. And the only thing that my doctors could offer me was antidepressant, because they couldn't figure out what was going on with the chest pressure. X-rays, CT scans, breathing tests, stress tests. Pulmonary doctors had no idea. Cardiologist, I don't know what to do for you. Joint pain, rheumatoid arthritis. Nope, wasn't that. Well, we don't know what to do for you.
So you actually went to a specialist. You saw a rheumatologist.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Bad joint. Was it widespread joint pain all over?
Mainly in my shoulders and in my hips and my knees were the 3 biggest locations that were the most painful.
And you had never had this before?
No.
Okay.
No.
And so they were thinking, okay, maybe she has rheumatoid arthritis. Let's do a workup for RA.
Yep. Nope, it's not that. We'll just put you on prednisone, and we already see you're on an antidepressant, so we'll see you in 3 months. Wow. And then you go back, and you're still in pain. What are you going to do for me now? Well, we don't know.
You did take steroids to try to help.
I did take some. Yes, I did. I think I did maybe 6 months worth. if I'm thinking back, it's been quite a while, but it was just better for me to just deal with the pain. If you can't find out what was going on, why am I on steroids? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
You were masking symptoms and
Yes.
creating new side effects, I imagine, in the process.
Right. Yeah, I did not want to have my bones become brittle. They were like, well, then we're going to have to do bone scans for you because we're concerned that you can't be on prednisone that long. And things were just getting worse and worse. I'm like, I need a better answer for this. Somebody's got to be able to find an answer. And I actually got on the long hauler support, and someone ended up saying, check out autoimmune. I'm like, okay, nobody's ever mentioned autoimmune. So
What
I started
is long hauler support? That's something online.
Yes, it was a support group, and I did a lot of blogging on there. You know, I think everybody was trying to figure out answers for it. Nobody was figuring out anything, and I happened to read one comment that somebody said, "Look into autoimmune." That's when I started dabbling a little bit of that, and I came across Dr. Maggie.
Okay, so it was through your research because you were not getting help from your doctors, from your regular doctors, from specialists, not providing you any answers, just giving you, well, here's an antidepressant, maybe take some steroids. We don't know what to do for you. Good luck. Meantime, and I don't want to gloss over this, your mental health is really suffering because this is not easy physically or mentally and emotionally. And you spent years in this state. So you are having to take the reins yourself. I'm going to do my own research. Came across, maybe it's an autoimmune connection. Maybe I should research more. And then somehow you found a video of Dr. Maggie?
I did. I found a video of her, and then I started watching some testimonials from some of her alumni. And to me, I always feel like there's reasons for everything. And there was a reason why I looked into that, and I came across her and the testimonials that I read about. I was drawn to her program.
Well, you were finally like, wait, that's somebody who's experiencing a lot of what I'm experiencing.
Exactly. And it was not only the testimonials, but I love the fact that, one, she was a woman, because all of the specialists that I had been to were men. 2, she was my age.
Yeah. 3,
she had suffered from similar symptoms that I had suffered from. And I'm like, this is relatable. This is relatable. This isn't just a doctor or a functional doctor looking on a screen and making guesses about what might be this or what might be going on. It was someone who said, I've lived it, I've experienced it, and I know how to figure it out, and I know how to make you better.
What was that like for you to finally have perhaps this glimmer of hope that somebody knows what to do with this?
I didn't believe it was possible. Yeah. The way that my life was going, I felt like I had aged 20 years. But once I found Dr. Maggie, I thought, is there a possibility that I can actually feel my age, or if not, feel a little younger? That can find all these markers that none of my other doctors have even tried. And I said, I got to give this a shot. I have to give it a shot. I told my husband, I said, I'm scared of heights, but I want to jump off the cliff into Dr. Maggie's program and just say a little prayer that she can really help me. And she did.
You mentioned you were a little bit scared. Was there reservation in joining this program at all?
It wasn't that I was afraid of being disappointed again. And not only that, I'm from a small town, and I'm used to, walking into a building, seeing a physician in front of me, introducing myself, knowing something about them. And here I am thinking about diving into this program, and I have never seen this woman. I don't know if she exists. Is this a scam? Am I getting wrapped into something? And I talked to my husband about it, and he said, let's give it a shot. He said, you're not finding any answers. Let's go for it.
Let's give it a shot. And I think that a lot of your questions very relatable because a lot of people have those questions. They've never experienced something like this before where it's an online program. Is it going to just be generalized information? Is it even real? Are they stealing my money? But then as you learn more and you go through the process and you understand, oh, it's very personalized to me. I'm actually getting more time with this doctor and other professionals on her team than I would ever get in my 15-minute appointment. I'm curious to hear from you, looking back now, the experience of how different it is, and perhaps if you're thankful that you took that dive.
Oh, I'm immensely thankful for the entire Transform program. I lost my train of thought.
Well, was it
the biggest thing that the first mastermind call that I was on, and I got to listen to other members of the program who were already advanced down, 5, 6, 7 weeks down, that were talking about their wins. I'm like, what are they talking about wins? They're having successful health benefits coming out. Things are changing. They're eliminating joint pain. Things are improving in their health. And I'm going, okay, I want this to be me. This is actually happening. There's people that are experiencing the program, and I'm just starting it. And I want to be that person that they are 5 weeks down the line. I want to be able to go up and down steps. I want to be able to carry something. I want to be able to do my job, leave my job after work and go golf or go ride my bike, go visit family, go out for a nice meal and enjoy company. I want to do what they're doing. And the more the mastermind calls to me were overwhelming at first because there were so many different terminologies coming at me. But I'm like, I'm gonna learn all this. I'm taking notes. I'm writing things down. I'm going to be that person as long as I follow the order and the way that the program is designed. Baby steps, and then I'll get to that point. I've got to get to that point. I know I can do this.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's see what are your results. Okay. Tell me, where do we stand now with the brain fog? The brain fog, and let's go back to it. How bad was the brain fog on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, and you're not able to think clearly, you're losing your train of thought all the time, it's impacting your work. How bad was the brain fog?
It was an 11.
Okay.
It was an 11. With my job, I had to memorize numbers. And for me to memorize 5 digits and then repeat them back to myself, I couldn't remember 5 digits. I couldn't remember. I'd have to go, if I went to do something, I'd have to repeat it to myself. Of what the item that I was going to pick up, the item that I was going to get. Because if I walked 2 rooms away, I got into the room and I had absolutely no idea why I was there. Goodness. So I would be mumbling to myself through the day at work, or mumbling to myself here at home. Get towels. I got to get towels for the bathroom, And if not, I would forget to get them. It was horrible.
Really impacting you. I'm not surprised to hear then you say you were an 11 on the scale.
Yes.
Okay. You are how far out of the program now?
I'm 10 months.
Okay.
I'm actually 10 months from graduation, from when I graduated out of the program.
So
I have brain fog was gone. My brain fog was alleviated within probably 5 weeks of the program, in a 10-week program.
Halfway through.
Joint pain. My joint pain started to go away within 3 to 4 weeks because I actually did a trip to Florida and sent a little video to Dr. Maggie. I'm like, what do you do when joint pain goes away? You dance. So I'm with a group of girls and we're on the dance floor with a DJ and I'm dancing because joint pain was gone.
Okay.
Chest pressure was still there, but it's been reduced. In 10 months, my chest pressure has probably been reduced 75 to 80%.
And continuing to get better and better.
Yes. Every month I feel different.
Brain fog was gone within about halfway through of the program itself. The joint pain disappeared after just a few weeks. Gone, not experiencing joint pain anymore. The chest pressure that was so concerning has diminished by about 75% and continuing to get better and better.
Yes. It's fantastic. And my energy level went out the
That's what I
roof.
wanted to know. Yes.
Yeah, energy level went out the roof. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was on the dance floor, but I mean, I had to build up my energy. But I'd say my energy level within 8 weeks of the program out of 10 weeks, I was multitasking after work, and up until maybe an hour before I would go to bed, I'd still be doing chores around the house, or I might be making something in the kitchen for the next day. My husband is looking at me like, where did this person come from?
So you were so inspired at the beginning of the program by those who had come before you. And in this communal environment, you really got to hear from them and see all of the things they were doing. And you thought to yourself, I want to be that. I want to, after work, go hang out with friends, get to go golfing, do all of those things. And to me now, it sounds like this energy level returned. Are you able to do all of those things again that you had been longing to do?
Yes, I am. And my girlfriends are, they're shocked. Like, what did you do differently that your energy level's back? I mean, we would call you and say, hey, we're going to go golf 9 holes. Are you available? And you would be exhausted. You just couldn't do anything. What changed? And I said, I met Dr. Maggie.
To me, and let me know if this is accurate, it sounds like perhaps maybe you're even better than you were before getting sick.
Oh, I feel like I've backtracked, and I feel 10 years younger than what I did before I met Dr. Maggie. I can't believe the energy level that I have. And I'm going to my grandson's ball games. I can walk up and down the bleachers. I couldn't do that before. I'm going to track meets. I'm going to wrestling meets. I'm helping girlfriends who need help that normally they would say, I wouldn't call you because I knew you were in a lot of pain. No, I can help you now. You need help moving? You need help relocating something in your garage? You need to do this? You need to do that? I'm your girl. Call me. I can help you now.
Your life has totally turned around and then gotten even better. So people are going to want to know, how did this happen? Kelly, is this magic? How did you turn all of these things around in just a matter of weeks? Because just as you watched one of these videos, or several of them, it sounds like, and figured out, okay, they were living in this place that I am living in too, where I feel terrible, and it feels like no doctor can help me. You are now offering that bright light for somebody else who might be going through this. So they want to know, okay, how did she do this? What were the game changers for you? And I know one of them was digestion.
Yes. Fixing digestion, absorption. So low stomach acid, which I didn't know was a problem for me.
Had anyone ever talked to you about stomach acid before?
Oh my, no. And I'm like, how can I be eating good quality foods, but I'm not absorbing up anything? So absorption was huge for me. Mastering my blood sugar, which I had no idea that was such a big issue, especially when Dr. Maggie's like, you have Hashimoto's. I'm like, what is Hashimoto's? You gotta keep your blood sugar under control. About that
diagnosis. No one had ever thought to test things with your thyroid before. What was going on?
No, absolutely not. My doctor was like, your thyroid, your TSH is fine. Your thyroid's working the way that it's supposed to. No, you don't have any thyroid issues. And then Dr. Maggie's like, yeah, you do. You have production and conversion issues. You have Hashimoto's. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, but she's like, I have Hashimoto's. So it was relatable again. And she's like, you've got to watch your blood sugar, and you've got to watch those markers. We've got to get your T4, your free T3 and your total T4 up. I'm like, what's that? Well, she teaches you that.
And I'm listening to you now. You sound so super smart. You know exactly what you need to do. You know more than your doctors know. Is that a fair assessment when it comes to this?
I feel like I do, but I have to hesitate when I talk to my family doctor because I don't want to insult him. But I use that terminology like Dr. Maggie's taught me. Will you work with me? And I even use that with my family. Will you work with me? She's taught me that. So, but yeah, finding those markers, and not only with my thyroid, but also finding out that I had an autoimmune attack on my hormones, doing all that testing and getting things balanced out to support all of my hormones. I feel great. There's there's so many different things with her program that she can offer you for such better health that it's phenomenal. There's no other ways to explain it. And for someone who might hesitate and say, oh, I don't know, I don't know if I can afford this. I think of it in terms of how many minutes and the minutes that turn into hours that you don't have the energy to be with your family or to travel, to go somewhere. I broke it down into minutes when I started the program. I thought, can I justify this? And I could very easily. And it's not just the weeks of the program that she offers you, but it's a support system that you have for the rest of your life. It's so much knowledge. It's like taking a college course. It's a concentrated college course that I feel so much smarter. I feel like I have so much more knowledge about my health and nutrition. There's so many things that the program offers that it can't be justified in just something minimal to talk about it. It's huge and it's so well worth it. Anybody that's questioning it and you're like, no, well, I'll see 2 more specialists and then another 6 months go by and then you have 3 more tests. Dr. Maggie will find it out. It's like the dragon that's within inside of you. She's going to slay it. That's what she's going to do. She's going to slay it.
I love that imagery.
She has the power.
Yes, because it does feel like that because like you said, it's relatable. She knows she's been there before. She's done this research on thousands and thousands of patients, but also on herself.
Right.
So she knows exactly how to tackle all of these things for you. I love hearing your data now that you feel so much better.
Yes.
But also you have actual scientific data to prove that markers have gotten better as well.
Oh, yes.
With your hormones.
Yes. The saliva tests through her program, my everything was tanked. When I did my first test with Dr. Maggie.
When you say tanked, I mean all of your hormone levels were super low.
Low. Oh gosh, yeah. She said, you're how old? And I said, I'm 53. And she said, congratulations, you have the hormones of an 82-year-old woman.
Great.
I was like, what? She said, no wonder you have no energy. She went through a list of things. She's like, we will fix this. It's going to take some time, but we will fix it. And that took me a little bit longer, probably more about 8 months for my hormones to slowly. But like I said, they were so low, it was ridiculous. So, but everything's optimal now. And I know how to test it. I know how to do my own saliva tests. I don't need my family doctor to order anything. And if he ordered it, he wouldn't know how to read it anyway.
But you do.
I know how to do it all now. I can do it all myself.
It's amazing.
And it's empowering. It's so empowering to know how to read something or to read a result and go, okay, this is all I need to do. I need to do this. And then I need to retest in another couple of months. And things move up and you're feeling better. And it all comes together. It's fantastic. There's no reason not to do it. They give you the power to understand your test results and how to fix them. Why wouldn't you jump forward and get involved in this program?
Well, and another data set I know you mentioned was that you were having a lot of absorption issues. Have you seen some of your nutrient levels and your vitamin levels?
Oh, yes.
Become more optimal?
Yes. My vitamin D was like 32. I got on.
Doctors might tell you is normal.
Yes. Yeah. My doctor's like, oh, your vitamin D. Yeah, you're all right. It's okay. No, I needed to be between 80 and closer to 100. And started the Digest It with Dr. Maggie with the digestive enzymes. And my vitamin D is now at close to 90.
And the proof is in the pudding. You feel energized.
Exactly. Yeah, the foods that I'm eating, I can tell my energy level's different. My fingernails are better. My skin is...
How are your fingernails changed?
Oh, no, they're just stronger. My fingernails are stronger. I used to have a lot of lines, especially here and under my chin and lower part in here. Around my eyes, everything with the collagen that we took, that when we started the program too, in our smoothies, everything's changed. I look better. I think my hair's gotten maybe not as gray. But I get that from my father, so I don't complain about my gray hair. That was a characteristic I got from him, turning gray early. But I felt like my hair's kind of darkening up a little bit. It's not as white as it used to be. But yeah, my face, my skin, I just have unlimited energy that I never had before. And it's fantastic. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling.
And not only do you feel younger, but you are starting to look younger with diminished wrinkles, improved skin texture, perhaps repigmentation of your hair. These are bonuses I'm sure you did not ever dream were part of this. You just wanted to feel well. But you are, so much more. And something else that I wanted to ask you about, you had mentioned the mental health changes that came about because of all of this. Mm-hmm. Are we still on the antidepressants, or where do we stand now?
No. That was probably, the chest pressure was awful, but the anxiety and the depression I had never experienced before. And with my family, I'm kind of, they put things on me. They're like, Kelly will take care of it. Kelly will take care of it. She'll do it. I'm the organizer. I'm the go-to. So how can I let everybody down and let them know that I can't do this anymore because my anxiety level's out the roof, and I don't feel that I'm going to get better. And I couldn't get my family to even slightly understand the level of depression that I was in. And I didn't share it even with my husband. I felt bad about not sharing that information to him. But when you have a husband who loves you and cares for you and wants to make everything better, and he has no power to do it, you're better off to not let him know about it, because he's just going to feel guilty that he can't do anything. So I didn't share that with my husband as much. I did after the program, after my anxiety was gone and the depression had lifted, then I shared it with him, and he had absolutely no idea. So I went through a lot of that alone. Not really alone. I did for a long time, but then when I got involved into the program, there were so many other women that understood it, and I felt like I was part of something, part of a solution. I was going to find the solution to it, and I did. I'm so grateful for Dr. Maggie and just everyone at Transform. They're phenomenal.
And so you're able to not be on that medication anymore. I know it's emotional. I know it is, because you've come so far. Looking back at where you were and where you are today, and how not only do you have your life back, but you have this vibrant, wonderful life that perhaps is better than it was before. It is emotional to consider. Had you keep going down that path, had you not, taken that chance and found Dr. Maggie and went for it, where would you be today? Because something else we haven't mentioned yet, you had to change your whole life around. You had to change your job. You had to switch to a different role, because you could no longer function in that outward facing role where you had to talk to people all the time, and you were short of breath, and you had this chest pressure, and you had this great fatigue. Thankfully, you had a wonderful employer who was able to work with you and get you into a different role. But so many things in your life changed. If you want to elaborate a little bit about that job change too.
Yeah. I worked with a fantastic boss, and she knew the type of work ethic that I carried at my job. And the rest of the employees that were there that I'd worked with for over 20 years, even though, I hit my 30-year mark at my job, but I had a good reputation of being a very hard worker, and coming to work and even doing overtime when they needed it. I was dependable. And she offered me a job at the post office that gave me flexibility. She's like, I think this is something that's going to be good for you. I took a little bit of a pay cut, but I talked to my husband, and we were okay financially. But he said, this is something, you've got to be able to stay at the job. So I could still carry my 401k and everything and still be okay with that. But it was hard. I was
going to say, was that hard for you emotionally, though? Because you had built this 30-year career and worked your way to a certain level of whatever it is that you wanted to be doing at that time. And then having to take a pay cut, take a step back into a different role that you maybe had never dreamed of being in before. That had to be tough.
It was hard. luckily my parents had always instilled in me, no matter what job that I carried, that I was always to give everything my all. And I do with this maintenance job. I would have never have thought that running a front counter and being a semi-manager in that aspect and working with customers, and then they're wondering where I am. And then they see me outside mowing grass or working in the landscaping or painting. And like, why are you out here? Why aren't you working the front counter? And I just, I explained to several of them that I'd had some health issues, and it was a little degrading, but I take a lot of pride in any kind of job that I've ever done and give 110%. And the pay cut was a little hard, but my husband's extremely supportive, and we make it financially. If we had to make a few pay cuts or a few financial cuts in our budget, we did, and we're still maintaining it. And I've got the great support of my family, and it's okay. It's all right.
Well, and as you're going through this, and your story is not unique in that when people experience these health challenges, a lot of times they either have to take a pay cut like you did or stop working altogether. And then they think to themselves, how could I ever afford doing some kind of program when it obviously is going to cost money when I don't have that money right now? But then if you really take a step back and you look at the bigger picture, which it sounds like you did, you probably thought to yourself, how can I afford not to do something? I have so much to lose. Is that kind of what your line of thinking was? And is the financial commitment pay off big time as a result?
I was very hesitant at the beginning, and it was worth taking a loan out for the program because it's paying off 10 times. I would do it all over again. If sometimes I look back on things and go, that was a bad decision. I shouldn't have done that. No, Dr. Maggie's program was 200%. I'd do it all over again 5 times. If I was in poor health, if I had another medical issue that I couldn't balance myself, I would be contacting the Transform team. I'd do it all over again. I'm fortunate right now that my health is doing well. And my heart goes out to those long haulers or anyone else that's having medical conditions. Don't hesitate. Find a way to get into the program. I know that they do payments. You can find it. Find the pay cuts or find your budget that's really important to you. But your health has to come first. You have to take care of yourself. There's nothing more important than your health.
So well said. And then not only has this investment helped you, but it sounds to me like you're able to help other people in your life now. Tell me a little bit more about the impact that this has had on the others around you.
Well, for one, my husband, due to some of the nutritional changes that we've done in our household, which it's been different for him. He's used to fried foods and meats and potatoes, and we've changed a lot of dietary ways that we eat. He's lost, I wish we would have measured his waistline, but I guarantee he's probably lost at least 3 to 4 inches on his waistline. Oh, wow. And he's had so many compliments from people. He's like, I guess because, most men usually wear the same waistline. They wear the same pant. They don't really change. But he's probably dropped about 17 to 18 pounds. Since the program, and he would always listen in to Dr. Maggie. My stepson, he's actually hyperthyroid. I'm hypothyroid. Wow. So a lot of nutritional things that we've changed with him, and he's sending me texts. He's like, my blood pressure's down. His blood pressure was like almost 200 over 130. He's sending me texts. He's like, my blood pressure's down. My doctor can't believe it. And then my stepdaughter, she has PCOS. She's estrogen dominant. So we're working on her blood sugar, and it's helping all around. Everybody's grateful. It's helping my whole family. It's not just helping me; it's helping my whole family.
And I imagine the relationships are stronger as a result as well, probably specifically with you and your husband. I mean, you guys are now able to do things again that you were not able to do before.
Right. Oh gosh, him just being able to put his arm around me. Sometimes he goes to hesitate and he's like, is your chest pressure isn't back right? I'm like, no, it's okay. Just to put his arm around me is fantastic. We've made trips to Florida. I've got a recent trip next month that we've got scheduled to go to California. He loves golfing. That's where we met on the golf course. But our partnership with our household, we are always 150%, especially if the other one is having health issues. My husband's had a few surgeries. And that's also another fantastic thing about Dr. Mackey's program. Several months after I completed the program, I had an abdominal surgery, and I went again back into her program, protocols for post-surgery, everything. I followed it to a T, and then actually I ended up getting another infection about 2 months after that. But I've always looked back at her program. How do I deal with it? What supplements do I need? What other nutritional things should I be bumping up and including? And even though I'm not involved in the program, she still guides me. And I'm constantly looking at her program. It's my guide. It's my guide. I mean, the house catches on fire, I'm grabbing the book of Maggie. It's going with me. It's going with me first, As long as the cat's out, my husband's out. Now we got to get the book of Maggie. I got to have that.
I love it.
But she guides me all the time, even though I don't speak with her. And I know that other people that have been involved in this program, I know that they're doing the same thing.
I love that. Yeah, because life is going to continue to happen, right? It's not like, oh, I'm all better today, so I'm going to continue to feel this way for the rest of my life. No,
right.
Things change. We continue to get infections. We may have other health issues pop up where we need a surgery and we need to figure out, how do I recover from this in the fastest way possible without backtracking my health? And you have all those tools now. You know what to do as your hormones continue to change throughout your life. You know what to do. And so just having that educational knowledge base sounds like for you, it was something that you really appreciated, because you'll take that with you now and be able to help yourself for life.
I do. I'm not scared anymore. The program gave me strength, not only with being able to understand markers as far as for my blood or for my hormones, but the nutritional guidelines that they gave me when I go into the grocery store. I don't have anxiety. I used to have anxiety when I went to the grocery store. What can I eat? What should I not eat? I'm empowered in that way. I'm empowered with any kind of sickness. I mean, to a limitation, I'm sure, but I feel confident. I feel sure of myself. I'm not worried about the future. I'm excited about the future, and I haven't had that in a long time.
You sound like a truly empowered person. I know you used that word earlier, but that's the best way to sum it up. Is you feel well, you feel vibrant, and you feel empowered. She has you say things that you are, your I am statement. I'm curious, do you remember some of those words that you use about yourself?
Oh, yeah. I am a vibrant, adventurous, thoughtful, kind wife. Things with my grandsons. They look up to me. I have a grandson that's 15, another one that's 13. It's nothing for them to come into the house now and say, would you throw a baseball with me? And I'd go out. We shoot basketball in the front yard. We pass baseball. My grandchildren are like, we're glad to have you back, Mimi. And when I go to their ball games, they let me know, thanks for coming. And I missed a lot of those. I missed a lot of ball games, and my heart would break. My husband would tell me about them, and I couldn't get off the couch. So I'm just so grateful in so many ways. I mean, saying I'm so thankful for the Transform team. Thankful doesn't do injustice. It's like thankful to the moon and back 500 times. I'm so happy that I found this program and all the team members and everything that they've ever done.
Kelly, congratulations.
Thank you.
you can be thankful to them, and that is very warranted and so nice. But also congratulations to you, because you took the chance, you put the work in, and now you're reaping the benefits. So I am so happy for you that you have your life back, and it's even better than it was before.
Yes, every day's better. Every day, every month. And I can only imagine what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going to be traveling, next year and the year after that, and what my grandsons are going to be doing. I'm excited, and going to Florida and seeing my daughter and my stepdaughter, and there's so many things. I've got a trip to Yellowstone that's on my my poster that I'm going to be taking care of. Going to Yellowstone, and I will make it to Ireland. That is another thing that I will be doing.
I love just the language around this. I am going to do this. This will happen. I know it will. The confidence, because you have that confidence back now, whereas before you had a lot of questions about what was your life going to be like. So what a change there too, from just the language aspect. Okay, Kelly, thank you so much. I want to ask you before I let you go, supplement wise, you mentioned Digest It, and you mentioned collagen. Were those two of the most impactful things, or what were you taking from Dr. Maggie's store that you think really helped out a lot?
Oh, I still focus on her supplements. They're fantastic. Digest It every meal. I take Pro Omega 1000, 3 to 4 per day, and I know that it helps me out with my thinking. It helps me with my muscles. It helps me with my skin, everything. I can't live without omegas.
And this is something that you never would have known before that you needed. Dr. Maggie has educated you about the importance of it. And then I think what's so interesting about her Pro Omega 1000 product is it's 1000. So, if I take another one, I've got another 1000 in there. And you mentioned you take several a day because that's what your body needs. I wonder if you could touch on the fact of just kind of the way that this is dosed out to be a helpful way.
Right. I always take 2 for dinner. Those are going to also help out my hormones as well, the production of my hormones at night when I'm asleep. I don't miss out on that. Her MCT oil, I also take that with my Golden Balance right before I go to bed. That just helps my blood sugar at night. I had a lot of spikes with my adrenals, so Golden Balance is a must in the evening with some coconut milk.
And did you notice a difference once you started using the MCT oil with the Golden Balance as you were going to bed? What kinds of changes did you notice? I
slept better. My sleeping was more solid. It wasn't a random a couple wakings up in the middle of the night. It was a solid 7.5 hours of sleep that I hadn't had before. And I would do that consistently, and always just making sure I'm very particular about the times that I go to bed. I'm very consistent with that. So the Golden Balance is a must for me, and I don't miss it. It's every night.
Okay. Is there anything else that you're taking that you think is really, I'm sure there's a lot.
There is.
Anything else specifically that you're like, ooh, I could pinpoint that's really made a big difference for me?
I mean, just my marker, as far as my vitamin D levels went up, those with the absorption, the vitamin D was fantastic. I was on that for about 6 months, and my energy level, my hormones. I mean, when I could see my hormones moving up too, I knew it wasn't just my diet, but it was also the supplements. I knew that without a doubt.
Love it. Okay. All right. Did you want to tell me anything else that we didn't touch on?
I don't think so.
Okay. And
I'm just super happy. And things, I'm not one that really is out there on social media, but I felt an obligation when a program works this good. You have to try and be a part of it, and spread the word. And I still do locally when people say, "What's going on with you?" I forgot to tell you this. I just had my 35th high school reunion.
Oh, wow.
A couple weeks ago. And I had a couple of girlfriends that I hadn't seen in a handful of years, about 5 years. And they're like, I don't know what you're doing, but you look fantastic. You're not changing. And if they would have seen me 3 years prior to that, I felt like, I mean, I knew everything. I was aging, but it felt so good for them to tell me that. They're like, you haven't changed a bit. You look great. What are you doing?
Right.
And I said, I was involved in a program, and I tell them about it. I'm like, check her out on YouTube. You got to check her out. If you're having some problems going on, check it out. So I keep passing the word.
Right, because, and you're like, I had such great results, but it's not a fluke and that it's only you, because as you mentioned, you were going through the program with so many other people who were also all having these great results.
Yes, it's fantastic to see the success stories on the website, and just to hear everybody's wins week after week after week, and you see it. You see it in the Zoom calls. You see it with the other people, from everywhere. I mean, ones that were in Australia and California and all over. It wasn't people were confined to, and all ages, all groups, all ages, all health difficulties. It was and they were smiling and they were happy, and it's just so great to share that. It's absolutely fantastic to be a part of this.
Well, I know that this your time today will definitely help somebody else and inspire somebody else. So thank you for giving back in that way and helping somebody kind of paying it forward.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.